Okay, guys, and now we are going to move into phase one. Now, keep in mind, you could have several phase ones. I'm going to show you a couple different methods. Phase one is designed to get rid of all the mayhem and madness in your sandbox brainstorming area, which is the go up before you go down sandbox, otherwise known as VOMA. That's what we just did. So we're going to segregate flower essences out. We're going to call this, you can have your own naming convention. It can be like phase one. This is going to be flower essences. Okay, we already know pretty much, but now we're going to get into the more iterative phases. Okay, and we're going to call this. We're actually going to drill into flower essences. The reason you're doing all this again, guys, is to give your client decent graphs. The way that the software is designed right now, you're going to have to separate the graphs out. And again, guys, in phase one, we're not using search engine improvement synonyms at all. Just blow all those away, and we're going to do just like we did before. And the reason that we're going to, if you capture these already from the VOMA phase and you're an advanced user, that's just fine. But for those of you who are linear and systematic beginners, please just go ahead and create a naming convention for flower essences phase one. And now you're going to begin. The purpose of phase one is to create a graph that shows the competition to focus on exactly flower essences and nothing else. The purpose of phase one, or the goal, as Sue Bell, architect of Krakken, has laid out, is to determine the structure and hierarchy of your blueprint or your synonymic net. In other words, you need to kind of cluster the topics together. Okay, so we've already got this one. Let's go back, view all themes for this cluster. Flower essence is the only one. Now you can snag, we don't have an export function on these yet, but we will. But you can snag these graphics right here. They're focused only on flower essences. You're not getting all the mayhem of all the different brainstorming words in one single overview that you had before. Now you're starting to granularize all the things that you know you're going for. Okay, go ahead and view all clusters. Let's start another. Here's your naming convention. Here's VOMA phase one. See how obvious that is? That's going to be very handy when you get to blueprint. You need to be able to easily tell which level or how deep into a project you are. You're never going to go deeper in phase one than just the primary term. Okay, and go ahead and create another cluster. This is to show your client the accurate data. We're going to do flower essence. We also went into Bach flower, or Mr. Bach. So you have the phase one Floralive Edward Bach this time. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and drill into Dr. Edward Bach because that was the issue on his homepage. Hopefully you remember that. Go ahead and create that theme. No synonyms for that, so click continue. And click continue. You're done choosing. Go ahead and let that run. And then back up to the view all themes for this cluster. It'll remind you, and actually I'm up on VOMA now. Phase one, Edward Bach. Phase one, flower essences. I didn't keep that naming convention correct because I did Dr. Edward Bach. Go ahead and click tab and you can change the name anytime. Just click Dr. Edward Bach, update, and that should add it. The purpose of phase one is to give your client and yourself a place to go back to where you're only dealing with a single keyword. See this? You haven't drilled into it, only have a single keyword. Now you have all the charts and graphs. Here's the scale, minimum, max, and average cost per click within this term. Pay-per-click traffic per day, the queries per day. This is valuable stuff. And then there's also all your competition. For example, since you're isolated or granular, you can always go back into any part of this. And for example, you can click the rank domains. That's isolated 100% to flower essences. And the reason that you do that, keep it only this theme in phase one, is because you might want to come back and do that in this market segment. You can rank a new domain first to see if your client is there. Floralive's not there for the word flower essences, so rank a new domain. Okay, just put his whole thing in there. Let's just do www. Click create, and it's going to see if this site is ranked for that specific term. And because you've kept it very separate, meaning only that granular singular word that you came up with in VOMA, then all the graphs and charts, when you print them out or copy and paste them onto your Word doc or your report, for your client, it's very granular and you can come back to that anytime you want before you start drilling in because the graphics change. When you have a lot of stuff, you get different graphs and they're quite different. Click continue. And Floralive is ranked neither on Yahoo or Google for the word flower essences. Good to know. Print that out. Here's the missed opportunity metrics, about $136,000 worth of advertising value per year. You can export it and see it and get back.